Hello everyone, this is G-Shock High Fashion Channel. Today I'm gonna show to you guys on how to operate a GA-500 G-Shock watch. But before we proceed, let's see. This guy operates on Casio 5478 module as being stamped or engraved on the backplate down there, which is I found to be very interesting and very amazing, despite being a non-popular G-Shock watch on the market today. Surprisingly though. Let's get right into them. Before I proceed, we're gonna have a look at 5-button operations. This one on top here for the adjust. This will be the mode button. This will be the start stop as being written on the watch band and bezel, of course. Search button, you're gonna use search for searching the CD code. Light button, of course, for the LED light that this model have in amber orange, which is surprisingly very bright. We get to those after as well. And next we're gonna have a look at the watch face design. As you guys can see, it is very simple watch face. Everything is straightforward. They are big, they are thick, they are bold, and they are easy to have a look at, which is a nice convenient point if you're looking into something that is like so. So here it is. The 3D index comes in blue in my case right now, which is very big, and they are pretty glossy as well, which makes this watch really gorgeous as the light reflects on it, as you guys can see now. And just look at that, so nice. And we have a way more tiny little index all around this in between this 3D index, but since the hour and also the main hands aren't reaching all the way there, you can't be sure if this hands is actually pointing to which of those index. Anyway, that's it. And we have one more hands down here for the mode indicator as being printed on this watch face. ST stands for stopwatch, WT stands for world time, in the middle here will be home time, AL stands for alarm, TR stands for timer, and we have here mode, of course. This is the mode in blue colorway. SEC stands for second, which equals to this graphics animations over here. This was the graphics animation that synchronized with the seconds counting, and WR20 bar indicating that this guy is indeed 200 meter water resistant G-Shock watch. And we have two digital display on top. This are currently displaying the day. This part displaying the date 11th of January. Down here, seconds graphics animations, and this two part on this side, so we're also gonna display the mode, which we'll get to after this. You're gonna see both little lighting up, and some will light on in the middle as well. And as you guys can see now, the graphic is lighting on and lighting off. We have each of this square part over here has 10 graphics bars in them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So altogether 60 graphics animations. Very tiny, barely able to see each of the bars, but you can see them moving one by one. So if I press the search button down here, we're gonna start with this. You are able to toggle between date display or digital time display, and look at that. So we are now at 55 second mark, so this is why we show here. And when we reach 60, 1 minute will be added over here, and this part will light on very dark. And after everything went dark, it will reverse and erase it back. So that's how this seconds counter match with this second graphics animations down here, which is very neat. Okay, that's as far as this button. At home time, you cannot do anything else except for this two purpose. Let me show the digital time display instead, which is currently at 14:14, 24-hour time format. That is 2:14 in the afternoon right now. So that's why the hours and the minutes hand is pointing to this direction, which is, I don't know, man, they are pretty big. And you can see some green accents on the watch hands, but those are not lume at all. Those not gonna look glows in the dark. They're just for aesthetics for this series. White and light blue and some touch of green here and there, you know. Same goes with the positive digital display, which is surprisingly very nice. Now if I press this upper right button, which is the light button on this miss, you are able to see the LED light that will glow down there beneath the 3 o'clock index, and also above the 9 o'clock index. You can see those rectangle LED strip in there, very tiny, but they are very bright. I was surprised to see how this LED light works at night time. Actually, you need to try it by yourself. Go into a dark room, like totally dark, and try to light it on, and I mean, this LED light is the brightest one I have ever seen on the G-Shock. I own a Golfmaster quad sensor model, and I already demonstrated to you guys on how bright the LED is on that very model. But those comes white LED. In this case, for a low-end orange LED light, the GA-500 has the brightest out of all. I don't think I could show how bright it is just from this video alone. If possible, go try them out in stores. I mean, you're gonna be surprised on how bright it is. You are also able to see the digital display at nighttime, just barely, but you still are able to see them with those orange LED light. I mean, it's almost like a flashlight. I admit it. Very, very nice. However, sad to say that this guy don't have an auto light feature, which is quite a bummer since I already like the LED light on here. It's so bright, but this guy is missing that auto light feature, man. It's such a bummer. I really wish they added in there, but I couldn't understand why. Adding an auto light really gonna be a huge problematic. It's gonna disturb a lot of people, and it's gonna consume too much battery. For a low-end model that is non-top solar, you know, it's gonna consume too much battery too fast, and people not gonna like it anyway. So why not just cut the auto light, and whenever you're gonna need it, just press it. And since they made the button easy to press as well, they're pretty soft. I mean, not that soft. They have this sort of resistance feels in it, but they are easier to use since they are big compared to when using other G-Shocks that is out there. Now let's proceed with the adjust button on top here. Press it once, it will display the current setup, city code or home time, home city setting for this watch, which is in Tokyo right now. If I press and hold it instead, we are able to set the watch. So let's begin with the watch setup. The hours and the minutes hand will move out of the way. Instead of blocking your view, they'll move here to a position where you won't blocking this two of this digital display on top here, and at the same time H and D will appear. So this is an indicator that the hands over here aren't displaying time, they are hand shifting from digital display. So that's hand traction. Some call it a hand shifting function, but whatever you're gonna call it, this is what it does. Okay, now let's set up the home city setting for this model, which is currently at Tokyo. You have a lot of cities in here. I cannot recall how much of them, probably 40 cities, but I'm gonna cycle through all of them so you guys can see if there are any that is closest to your wherever you live in this world, you know. Shout out Tehran, KBL. I'm gonna set it back to TYO for Tokyo actually, where this watch original base form. Here it is. Tokyo, press mode to go or select to go to the next setting. So now off will appear, and at the same time DST will appear up here. So you know this will be the DST on or off, or summertime or daylight saving time on or off. In my case, we're just gonna leave it off right now because we don't use it in Tokyo, you know. Press the search button to toggle between on or off. That's it. Press mode will go to the time format, 24-hour. Use search button as well though for toggle between 12-hour time format or 24-hour time formats. I'm gonna stick with 24-hour time format because it's way more easier to understand. But if I use a 12-hour format, you will be able to see a PM on top there. If it is in AM, PM will disappear. That's how you know it is AM instead of PM. But I like 24-hour time format. It is way more easier to understand. Press mode will go to the seconds. Basically the time setting. You could set this back to 0 if you want to do so. Look at that. Press mode again. We'll add the hours or minus an hour using this slide or search button over here. Press this mode again. We'll go to the minute setting. In my case right now it is very accurate now, so not gonna mess this thing up. Press this mode button again. We'll go to calendar setting now. It have the calendar starting from the year 2000 to the year 2099. And if I press mode, we'll now be able to set the months and then the day. You could use both of this button over here to toggle or to add a day or minus a day depending on where you live. Press mode again, we'll go to key tone on or off. So this will be the mute or mute off. Basically, we're gonna leave this key button on so you guys could hear each time I press the button, you know. So let's just leave the key on. Press the mode button again. It will be the LT, stands for the afterglow duration for the LED light. In this case right now, 1. LT1 stands for 1.5 seconds. Press search, we'll go to LT3, stands for 3.0 seconds. So I'm gonna leave it at 3 seconds now so I could demonstrate again after this for the light duration, which is impressive thing to see on this model, man. Press mode, we'll go to back to city home setting, and now I believe we are done with the watch setup, which is very easy and straightforward by the way. press adjust to finish with the watch setup. Now the hours and the minutes hands will move all the way back to match with this digital time over there, which is 2:21. 35 seconds, so that's why you reach all the way here. When you reach 22, this hand should point somewhere around there. Just in case the digital time display didn't match with the analog hand display over here, you could perform the hand adjust function using the adjust button up here. Instead of holding for about 2 seconds, keep holding it until hand set appear. Actually, that is H set stands for hand setting. Now you could calibrate this part and also both of this part as well. So H set right now to 0. Make sure this part are pointing to 0 there, indicating with this green color down there 0. So that's how you know this part is pointing to 0. Press mode. Now we should check if the hours and the minutes hand are matching of this digital display over here. Should be at the middle here. So if they are misaligned, that's how you know that the watch should be adjusted. In my case right now, look at that, it's fairly accurate enough. I could move it if I want to do so, but yeah, let's not do that, you know, to maintain an accurate timekeeping. Somewhere around there, I believe. Okay, just press adjust again to finish with this setup, and the hands will move back into its original position, which is 2:23 p.m. or 14:23 hours. Okay, done with the 3 of these buttons over here. Let's proceed with this button in the middle here, and then we go to the mode button, you know, because we have a quick access to stopwatch function over here. Just a single push and it will turn or start the stopwatch right away. Let's demonstrate in 3, 2, 1, bam. Just in case you want to calculate something, or when you are doing your job or preparing for an assignment, or timing your cooking, timing your workout, just press it and go with it. You don't have to think of anything else. It's very straightforward. And you could of course stop this, start again. You could split time if you want to do so, split off. You can start this, you can stop this, and you know what, stop, and let me try again, stop, sorry, and search to reset it back to 0. And in this mode as well, you could check if the target time is on as well, since this guy have it, so why not talk about it. Let me press the adjust button up here to set the target time on here. You could set it up all the way to 24 hour actually, 23 over there. If you want to set it up to 24 hour, just leave it at 000, and that is equal to 24 hour target time, which is 1 day. And also target will appear down there. If you guys haven't noticed yet, you can set this thing up to a minimum of 1 minute target time only. So let's leave it there. Press mode now. Target time is now on. So let's leave it off first, and then we'll get back to it after this, though, after we cycle through the mode. Now press adjust. The hands will move back into place since we left the target time off. Now when I press the stopwatch, you can see now the hands will move along with this seconds part over here. So this will be 1/100 seconds. This will be the seconds. This will be the minutes. This will be the 24-hour range. So these hands will move all the way here until reach 60 seconds. And when it reaches there, it will move back all the way back to 0 and cycle back all over again. So that's how it works actually. You can see now 3-second mark is reached. It's already reaching here, and when we reach to 60, it won't beep at all. It's just gonna repeat itself and just move on from there, synchronizing with this seconds counter up there, which is a very neat feature which I couldn't find on any G-Shock out there at all. Most, if not all, of the G-Shock out there will depending on digital display alone whenever you are using the countdown timer or the stopwatch. I believe this is by far the only G-Shock watch that have an analog hands that represent the stopwatch or the timer, while at the same time have the digital display. If you own a negative display version of a GA-500 model, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty hard to see this part over here. So since you have this analog hands over here, you can still use the function even in bright sunny day. You don't have to worry about this display at all. So that is something to take note about as well. So let me stop this thing. We'll get back to this after this, of course, on how the target time work. Now let's press mode. We'll go back to home time, by the way. Okay, at home time, just press this mode button once. We'll go to countdown timer first, as being indicated in there. TR will appear. That's how we know we are at a timer mode. It will default to 10 minutes, precision to 1/10 seconds. You can set this thing up, of course. Range all the way to 60 minutes only. Let me try using this light or search button to set this thing up. Look at that. All the way to 60 minutes countdown timer, and which will be represented with these bars over here. So if you set this thing up to 60 minutes, all these bars will appear. Such as if you set this thing up to 1 minute, only one bar will appear down there. Very tiny, you're barely able to see it, but there is down in there. 1 minute only. You can set it to the minute only, you cannot set the reverse by seconds, no synchronize function at all here, just plain countdown timer. Press adjust to finish with this setup. The hands will move back to place, showing you current local time. And now press the start stop button down here to operate it right away. As you guys can see now, instead of moving from the left to right, it is now moving from right to the left. Look at that. TR will appear down there. Countdown timer 60 seconds. Since it is 1 minute, so it is 60 seconds. This part will move all the way to here, matching with this digital display up here, which is convenient as well, since if you're able to see this, you are still able to see these analog hands down there, which is convenient in my opinion, as I already mentioned before, so I'm just repeating myself. The hands down here though is pretty thick, so despite being an accurate timekeeping or timer display up here, it's pretty hard to tell, you know, if this hands is pointing to which seconds, because there are no indicator over here. I mean, they have indicator up there, which is pretty tiny as well, but the hand is too big. It's pretty hard to tell when it's gonna reach the end, such as right now. Look at it, it's pretty confusing. But you can hear the beep, so that's how I know the timer is off. It will keep continue beeping for about 10 seconds, unless you press any button, and then it will reset back to this position, of course. Now, if I press mode, we'll go to the next mode, which is the world time, as being indicated up there. And this digital display over here will keep continuing displaying the seconds, time, synchronization. This upper digital display over here will display the city code and also the time at this city right now, which is in London, 5:29. Press this search button if you want to search for the city. Paris, Rome. This part is pretty standard, by the way. Press adjust if you want to add a daylight saving time to the specific city, such as in Berlin right now. Just gonna add an hour to those cities. And one more thing that I noticed about this watch is that it didn't have those city, home, city swap function. Unlike most model, if you press the light and adjust button up there, it will swap city between Tokyo and Berlin, where Berlin will be at analog and the Tokyo will be at digital. In this case right now, you cannot do so. Look at that. And that's a thing that you need to take note as well, but not a big deal at all. Just it is what it is, you know. The watch is good enough already. Okay, done on this world time mode. Press mode now. We'll go to the next function, which is the alarm. So the alarm is now off. We have 5 of them. Press adjust over here to see alarm number 2 right now. Alarm number 3 is off. Alarm number 4 is off, and we have snooze alarm as well, and we have a signal. And back to alarm number 1. To turn it on, press this start stop button down here actually. Look at that, alarm number 1 is now on. How about we just leave the snooze alarm on? Boom, look at that, snooze and ALM will appear up there. And let's proceed with signal as well. Turn this thing on. Both are now on. If you want to set the snooze alarm, you could just use the adjust button up here, press and hold it. Now you can set this alarm to the hours and just the minutes or whatever time you want this alarm to beep. In this case right now at midnight. You cannot set any specific date that you want this alarm to be. So basically this will be a daily alarm, and that's it. Press adjust to finish with the alarm setup. If you want to turn it off, use this front button over here, and that's it. Pretty straightforward. I don't want to take too much time here because this is not the main function for this model. The main feature is, again, press mode, is this stopwatch. So we're now back to stopwatch. I already talked a few about the target time on the first part of the video, but for now let's demonstrate even further. Firstly, press adjust to begin with the stopwatch or the target time setup. Actually, set the target time. Again, we're gonna just use a 1 minute target time over here. It didn't matter if you use 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or even more, because these hands will only move every single minute and go back and continue again all the way back. So how about I show 2 minutes instead so you guys can see what I mean, you know. Gonna be way more easier to understand. and press this one again, you could set the target time, and then you could decide even further if you want to leave it on or if you want to leave it off. If you leave it on, target will appear down here. If you leave it off, it will disappear. Press this search button to turn it on. Alright, press it just to begin or finish with the target time setup. Start the stopwatch first and then just wait. The hands over here will synchronize with this part, but I'm not sure if you guys will notice the hours and the minutes and are now blocking your view. We couldn't see this part of the display. So what else we could do with this watch is that the hand shift function, and to operate that, press the light button and the mode button. Press the light button first actually. Hold it and press mode. It will move the hands out of the way actually, but sadly it will move this part out of the way as well. So let's start this and reset it back to 0 and press any button to to bring the hours and the minutes and back into place. So we already stopped the stopwatch, but we did leave the target time on, so you could still be able to access the stopwatch mode without needing to go back all to this mode button over here. Just press this stop button over here and we'll start the stopwatch right away with a target time on. So that is a very convenient feature in here, just in case you always having the same target time or aiming that goal. Just leave it like so and leave it on all the time. Whenever you're gonna need to use that, bam, right away start it, and it's very easy to do so. And also you can see again the hands synchronize with this second digital display up there. It will goes all the way to this part, a minute, and it will repeat it back. So let's see how that thing work, and you also will be able to see on how the it's gonna beep after you reach the target time, because the beeping tone are the same as any other G-Shock or when you're operating the countdown timer on this base. And to show that, how about I place this watch over here and hoping that the camera could pick it up, and hoping that this watch won't topple down. I'm gonna stuck it like so. Alright, look at that, the hands are already moving backwards, and now we're gonna wait until we reach a 2-minute target time, and then I'll play it again. Okay, we almost reached it, and there it is. You can see some animations going on down there as well, and the seconds will continue moving, but the hand will stop at that position. But after a while, like after 10-second mark, it will move back to original position, and instead of beginning back here, it will proceed synchronizing with this part, which is already at 18 seconds, and that's how it goes. Of course, in here you could split time, split off, split time, or displaying second place position, like when you do it on any other G-Shock up there. But in this case, since we have the analog hand, you can see now, bam, and display the time, boom, right away it will show the time over there, and the hands will move to sync with this part as well. Start, stop, and reset back to 0, go down over there. And that's as far as the stopwatch, the target time in this very model. Press mode button over here to go back to home time. And by the way guys, just in case you're wondering, if you again start stopwatch and so for some reason you stop it and you didn't reset it back to 0, and then you go back to home time, and whenever you're gonna need to use the stopwatch again, the one push button operation won't work anymore in here. Let me try to demonstrate it. Start, look at that, it won't start, it will just stop or stuck in this mode. You need to reset it back to 0, press mode back, and bam, it will start stopwatch as it was meant to use for. Just keep that in mind, or make sure that you reset it back to 0 before you leave it just like that. And that's as well the watch setup, function demonstration, and also detailed explanation on this very model. And lastly, we're gonna have a look at the test screen, which is not a lot, as you guys could already imagine, based on all the function that we just covered just now, so we don't have a lot to talk about anyway. Press 1, 2, 3 button at the same time, and this screen will appear. Now press the search button down here. We'll go to the next cycle, look at all the details in the watch face. Press this button again. Now we can see everything that should appear on here: snooze, alarm signal, PM, and hand shift, DSD, SD, TR, target. I already covered all of this, so I'm pretty sure this video is complete enough. Press this again. 5478 module. I'm not sure what that 1701 means, but yeah, that's having there. Press this again, 002, and press it again. F001. Press it again. It will go back to home setting, and we have one more test screen. Just the light and search button up here instead of this part over here. Press this 3 and you're gonna see another test screen, which is the age. I'm not sure what this thing's supposed to do, but what you are able to do over here is that checking the hands is actually working properly or not, such as with a press mode over here. Look at that, the hands will move to 0, and basically similar as the hand adjust function, you know. Press the button again, it will move these hands forward and backward to check if this working properly or not, and press again. It will keep repeating the same thing over and over again until you press the other button than the mode, and it will reset back to original time setting. And that is all the thing that I could find in this very model. And to conclude everything, since we did talk a lot, and I hope you didn't miss anything, you know, so we're gonna have a look at this module or manual book over here. And what I like about a Japanese style manual book, not just because of the Japanese language and also the neat book which is covered with plastic and all this, it won't mess around in the box. One other little details that I couldn't find on other version, such as the non-JDM version, is at the back of the manual. We have sort of like a summarize. Let me show you guys. Every Japanese module book have this, by the way. And here it is, a summarize on everything that we just talked about. So this will be the analog hands. It will move every 20 seconds. We have hour, minute, seconds, year, months, and day of the week. Time display, calendar starting from year 2000 to year 2099. 1/100 seconds stopwatch, maximum to 24-hour range. And we have split time, second place position display. And we have this one push operation to stopwatch and also a target time. We have a 1/10 seconds countdown timer, range to all the way to 60 minutes, precision average 1 minute, set from range 1 to 60 minutes of course. And we have a 48 cities and 31 time zone at world time with summertime setting of course. And we have alarm 5 of them, including signal and also snooze alarm for the 5th alarm. You can set the alarm to every minute and every hour. The alarm will beep for about 10 seconds of course every single day. And this will be the LED light setting, LED. And we have hand shift function over here, button operation on or off, and also this guy operates on CR2016 battery, which have a life expectancy all the way to 3 years depending on this condition. Stopwatch operation for every 40 hours per month, alarm 10 seconds per day, light operation 1.5 seconds per day, one time only every single day, and it will reach, the battery could last you for 3 years long, which is impressive for a sport watch like this. And I believe that sums up all the things you guys should know on this model, by the way, the tiny little details. And I hope you guys found this video useful, informative, and entertaining as well. For your future reference, leave a like if this video does helping you, and also subscribe to see more good contents like this coming up in the future. Thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate them. This is G-Shock High Fashion Channel, and out.